All right, so we're gonna do another walk around of my float tube and everything that's on it because people ask me for extra details. So I'll give you everything. First, this is a Cumberland float tube. This is the one rated to hold 300 pounds. But because I've added certain flotation to it, I'm sure it can get a lot more than that. So starting right here up front, what I did was I just took a half-inch piece of plywood and I built a little board, we'll call it. And I put a piece of 2x4 on here and I bolted it to this board. And this allowed me to install a transom for my trolling motor. It also lets me put a couple of fish holders, as you can see, on the transom as well. Now, if you notice, on my trolling motor, I added a piece of foam. All that does is take some of the weight off of the transom when it's in the water. It creates more flotation, but of course it's going to stay down. And then right here on my board as well, I added a cranking anchor. So I can just crank this handle to pull the anchor up, turn this knob to let the anchor down. Then on this board, I've added a couple of pieces of PVC pipe. This is 1.5 inch PVC pipe. I just cut it out and stuck it in the board, hot glued it in to hold extra fishing rods. So I can put 3 fishing rods on here and I can fish with 2 fishing rods over there. Then I just took these ammo boxes and I Velcroed them to the board so that I can store things like scents. If I want worms, I can put worms in there. And then I've also added a couple of fans. One fan on this side. These are just USB fans and they're very powerful to keep me cool when I'm out there in the water. Now over here on the other side, I got another ammo box that consists of my batteries for my depth finder. And then I 3D printed, and you can do this however you like, a little arm to hold my transducer. And I put a 3/4 inch PVC pipe through it so that I can put my transducer on and I can maneuver it, and I can also slide it up and down for transport. Now, as I go around, I created this little flotation device that I attached to the straps of the float tube, and I attached 2 solar charging panels, one that charges the battery for my depth finder and another one that charges the battery for my trolling motor. I typically don't like to run multiple things on the trolling motor battery because I want it to last as long as possible. Then I bought another ammo box. Yes, I love ammo boxes that I attached these solar panels to. This here allows me, as you can see, to just carry extra things that I may need. In here, I have extra tackle. I have the holes for my pump, and I can put drinks or whatever else I want to put in there. And then of course I have on my float tube the compartments for different tackle boxes. I usually have 2 tackle boxes with me, full of stuff for catching bass, crappie, catfish, or whatever it is I want to catch. Now in the back of my float tube, I store my pump, and I have a 50 amp hour lithium battery. I find that this battery lasts all day on this 40-pound trolling motor. Now I've also constructed a PVC pipe holding for this umbrella. It gets very hot out there on the lake, so you always need some type of shade. And I like this umbrella because I have it on a flexible arm where I can bend this umbrella in any direction I want to block the sun. And this helps because I can spin it around, block the front, I can block the back, or whatever I want with this umbrella. Okay, on the side, on the hooks, I have my bait basket. Whenever I catch a bunch of crappie, I reach over, pull up the bait basket, fill it with fish. And then on the next hook, I have live bait for when I want to fish with minnows. So all in all, I can say this unit is extremely efficient for when I take it out fishing. I like it because I can transport it in that little Maxima. If I don't want to take my truck, I can take this thing completely apart and put it in that Maxima within 15 minutes and have this thing set up in 15 minutes. To me, this is one of the most efficient float tubes I've ever seen. I've seen people mount trolling motors all over the place. I like mine right here in the middle in front of me. trust me, my legs are never in the way because my feet don't hang down nearly as low as the motor. And it's extremely efficient because when I'm sitting here, I can just reach up, turn it on and turn it off, turn whichever way I want. It's extremely efficient. Now I am about to add a PMW to it so that I can have even more control over the trolling motor. But as far as steering and functionality, I'll just continue to use the handle to steer it. Also, if you're going to take a float tube out, make sure you have some type of life vest. You always want a life vest. And I would steer clear of wearing waders. Waders are for wading water. Waders are not for being out in the middle of a lake, because imagine if something happens and you have on waders and you end up in that water, they are going to fill up and sink you straight to the bottom. Now also, when taking out your float tube, never forget your fins. Your fins are your way of propelling this boat in case your battery dies. They're also good with helping you turn, just quick little turns. If you see a brush pile, you want to get over a brush pile, you have to have your fins on. I never, ever suggest that you go out on a float tube and not have your fins on. I've seen people do it and I strongly advise against it. So this is my float tube, and believe it or not, I'm about to add LiveScope to this float tube. And literally all I'm going to do is replace that screen with a 9-inch screen and run the LiveScope unit right here to the back of this float tube. Now you heard me mention that I've added extra flotation devices. Within this float tube, in this back part, there's typically just a net down here. I took a bunch of foam, pool noodles basically, and I wrapped them and I stuffed them up in there, which gives this float tube a whole lot more buoyancy. I'm a big guy and I like to carry a lot of gear with me. So with this float tube, you can get out and catch a whole lot of fish. And when I tell you I've caught hundreds and hundreds of fish on this float tube, I tell you no lies. Now, I'm not a big YouTuber, so I've got some footage of me fishing on this float tube, but I'm about to get more. And the footage that I'm going to attach in this video is before I made some of these modifications. I didn't have this trolling motor. I had a bigger fish finder, just a few different modifications. So I've been doing this for a few years, and after literally 3 years, this float tube is held up, no punctures or anything, and it really gets the job done. So hey, thanks for watching this video, and as much as it kills me to say this, please like and subscribe to this video. This is what YouTube requires now in order to hit algorithm so that other people can see the videos, and you'll be doing me a favor. And if you have a channel, I'll visit your channel and I will like and subscribe as well. Once again, thanks for watching this video.